Do mass shootings happen only in America? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is another declaration of truth from your host, Terry A. Hurlbut. At the same press conference that Beto O'Rourke disrupted, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas let some Australian reporter scare him off with that canard that only in America do mass shootings even happen. I have a link in the description to Dr. Stephen Turley's video, which opens with that sequence. It's high time, and Dr. Steve prompted me to say it, that we debunk this myth that mass shootings happen only in America. Our conventional media, aligned with the political left as they always have been, have always pushed that canard. A United States senator should know better than to let some cub reporter scare him off like that. I hope after today, you will not let anyone scare you off with that lie, because that's what it is. But more than that, I'm going to talk about why mass shootings do happen to the extent they do and what we need to do about them. Before I begin, I want to shout out to the sponsor of this channel, which is Conservative News and Views, link in the description. And be sure to check out the awesome CNAV Store. Scroll down near the bottom of that link. Lots of good merchandise there, including this t-shirt, Rhino Hunting. While I'm at it, I want to shout out to another sponsor of this channel, which is BitNext. This is your replacement for Zoom, Slack, the Google G Suite, Microsoft Office 365, Dropbox, WeTransfer, and Chili Piper, among others. Unlike any of them, BitNext protects your content and conversations so well that even the administrators can't see it. So this is your channel for secure comms, conferencing, cloud storage, and file sharing. Best of all, everything is back-end, so you don't even need client software. If you have a browser, you can use BitNext. Follow the link and give them a try. 28 days free of charge. You can't beat that with a stick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. First, we can't even begin to have a discussion without agreeing on definitions, can we? Well, did you know that even people trying to push gun control can't agree on how to define mass shootings? The RAND Corporation told us that last year, and I have a link in the description of their study of mass shootings in the United States. From official databases to left-wing publications, no one can agree on what a mass shooting is or isn't. RAND also tells us that mass shootings are rare. In fact, they're so rare that people can't reliably tell what good anti-mass shooting policies might do. So why do we keep hearing about them? Because our media tells us tragedy sells, violence sells, blood and gore sell, and sometimes certain narratives sell. In contrast, governments in many other countries run the media, and they are not telling. RAND did offer one telling recommendation. Focus on ways to prevent violence more broadly, they say, and all kinds of shootings, including mass shootings, will decline. But the media and leftist politicians and activists don't want to focus on preventing violence. That might require, say, overruling Lemon v. Kurtzman and putting prayer back into our schools. When Earl Warren and colleagues took God out of our schools, they created a vacuum. Without God, society then needs a dictatorial elite. This is what President John Adams meant when he said our Constitution was for a moral and religious people and inadequate to govern a people without God. Naturally, this oligarchy wants to disarm the public, so when mass shootings occur, they rush in and shout, "Give us your guns!" as Beto O'Rourke did 2 days ago. Apart from RAND, John R. Lott has actually studied the problem of mass shootings in America and around the world. He found that these shootings do not happen only in America. I quote his abstract. Not only have these attacks been much more common outside the U.S., the U.S. share of these attacks has declined over time. There has been a much bigger increase over time in the number of mass shootings in the rest of the world compared to the U.S., unquote. I've left a link in the description of the full paper so you can read it for yourselves. In fact, of 101 countries Mr. Lott studied, the United States ranked 66th in attacks per 100,000 population and 56th in fatalities. Nor can Western Europe brag too much about having it under control. France, for instance, saw fewer attacks, but more people killed in those attacks in proportion to their numbers. In contrast, the leftist media latched onto a competing study by Professor Adam Lankford at the University of Alabama. He asserts that mass shootings happen, if not only in America, then far more often in America. In the interest of fairness, I've included a link in the description to his paper as well. But I have also included a link to John Stossel's video rebutting Adam Lankford. According to Stossel, Lankford might have missed mass shootings one reads about only in old print editions of papers, not in English. Furthermore, Lankford studied only 292 mass shooting reports. Lott had more than 3,000 to work with. Why the difference? Lankford has been less than transparent with his data, which seems to be a common problem. Lott has been scrupulously transparent. Result, others have checked Lott's work and found it true. So what do we have? We have a tale of two studies and yet another sourcing war taking the place of honest inquiry. And now I'm going to talk about why mass shootings do happen and what we need to do to stop them. The left plumps for the oligarchy and always has. That oligarchy needs to disarm the populace. Nothing else will serve. So they create conditions for more mass shootings and more violence of other kinds while pretending to decry it. In fact, over several decades, they have primed and groomed children, especially boys, to fight each other and tear each other down. No one in authority seems able or even willing to break it up. Nor does government policy even let them teach truly moral behavior, or even offer better examples. As Dan Sanchez observed at the Foundation for Economic Education, if we want people, young men especially, to reject the role of the villain, we must encourage them to embrace the role of the hero. Unquote Dan Sanchez. But that's the problem. Our popular culture touts villainy as cool and denies that heroes even exist. Inevitably, some boy or boys feel shut out and want to strike back. Their names are legion. Charles Whitman, the Eagle Scout and Marine who killed 14 people from a clock tower at the University of Texas at Austin in 1966. More recently, Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris, Adam Lanza, Nicolas Cruz, and now Salvador Ramos. Result? Mass shootings and calls for gun control. But mass shootings do not happen only in America, or even mostly in America. Nor will gun control stop the shootings we now see. What will stop it is returning to the values that got us through our war for independence and that prevailed when we wrote our Constitution. That means that Lemon v. Kurtzman has to go the way of Roe v. Wade and Scott v. Sanford. Links in the description to the article, to the RAND study, to John Lott's and Adam Lankford studies, to Dr. Steve's and John Stossel's videos, and to Conservative News and Views. I have another link to the awesome online store and to BitNext, as I mentioned. And if you like what you've heard, you can like this video and subscribe to this channel. This is Terry A. Hurlbut delivering another declaration of truth and reminding you to let the truth set you free.